Let me ask you about this. This is the, I guess it's the Los Angeles Slimes. Continuing his push for change on immigration issues, Governor Jerry Brown signed a trio of measures today, including one removing the word alien from California's labor code because it is seen as derogatory, a derogatory description of those not born in the U.S. who are not fully naturalized citizens. State Senator Tony Mendoza wrote the bill eliminating the word alien, saying the measure is necessary to modernize the labor code. So here you have a guy elected to the state senate from California who sees his role as to advance an ethnic balkanizing agenda to promote lawlessness. So how do you end it? Censorship. So somebody here illegally from a foreign country is no longer an alien. Alien is now commonly considered a derogatory term for a foreign-born person and has very negative connotations, he said. The word alien and any law prescribing an order for the issuance of employment to aliens have no place in the laws of our state. More importantly, should never be the basis for any employment hiring. So your status as an American should not, should not be the basis for employment hiring. Now, I want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you about this, and I want you to help me focus in on this. I want you to focus in with me. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 in 5 public school students are now from immigrant homes. 28% of all immigrants are in the country illegally. Not even counting the legal immigrants. Census Bureau has identified what it classifies as a whole host of jobs now being taken over by people who are here illegally. That's pretty bad. Nothing here from State Senator Tony Mendoza about assimilation. Nothing here about right and wrong. Nothing here about people violating the law to get. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Now, what of the American children of California, of whom there are fewer and fewer? That is, legal citizens, American citizen children in California. What kind of impact does this have on them? And apart from the children, the people generally in California, what kind of an impact does this have on them? As the line between legal citizen and everybody else is blurred intentionally for purely political purposes by the Democrat left. Well, what it does is it makes you use your tax dollars to subsidize people who are not supposed to be here through health care and other spending. One of the fellows we met in line at my signing in New Jersey at Bookends in Ridgewood, physically, he was in terrible shape. He was hunched over. His arm was in some kind of an odd-looking sling. He was obviously in pain, and I said to him, "What in the world happened to you?" He said, "I was in a car accident. I was hit by an illegal alien. I've had 7 operations. And I'm going broke paying for it because there's nobody to sue. He doesn't have insurance." What do you think of that? Nobody cares about that guy. Nobody. And these illegal alien children, among others, are taking jobs from your children. I don't care how many phony economists get on radio and TV and tell you otherwise. It's true. That's why there's such a push by the Republican Party to have them. Although it's repeatedly alleged that America must open immigration further to accommodate increased numbers of high-skilled and high-tech workers, I'm reading again, plunder and deceit on immigration. Because the country is supposedly failing to produce enough homegrown college grads with science, technology, engineering, and math, that is STEM skills, to fill the demands of the fast-paced market, that's a lie. The evidence demonstrates that enough college students in the STEM disciplines are graduating to fill the market's demands. A thorough analysis by scholars Hal Salzman, Daniel Kuhn, and B. Lindsay Lowell from the Economic Policy Institute found that for every 2 students the United States college graduates with STEM degrees, only 1 is hired into a STEM job. The report further states that of the computer science graduates not entering the information technology workforce, 32 say it's because IT jobs are unavailable. 53% say they found better job opportunities outside their IT occupations. The 3 scholars conclude this indicates that the supply of graduates in these STEM fields is substantially larger than the demand for them in any industry. So, while demanding that the federal government substantially increase the number of high-skilled and high-tech immigrants into the country, Hewlett-Packard, Cisco, American Express, Procter & Gamble, T-Mobile, Microsoft, Disney slashed tens of thousands of employees. The Census Bureau reports 74% of those who have a bachelor's degree in science, technology, engineering, and math, commonly referred to as STEM, are not employed in those occupations. Furthermore, stick with me, please. In these occupations, in these related industries, engineering and mathematics and technology and so forth, math and science, wages have remained flat. They're hovering around the late 1990s levels. That means the salaries of professionals in these fields have not increased in the last 17 years. While salaries have not increased, the flow of guest workers has increased over the past decade and continues to rise. The annual inflows of guest workers amount to 1/3 to 1/2. 1/3 to 1/2 of the number of all new IT job holders. And these experts, these professors, conclude that immigration policies that facilitate large flows of guest workers will supply labor at wages that are too low to induce significant increases in supply from the domestic workforce. So I use these reports, the facts, the stats, and I challenge anyone to challenge me. Anyone on radio, anyone on TV, anyone in government. Anyone. And I want you to be aware of this. I want you to be informed about it. I did not load this book up with stuff you already know. What's the point of that? Why would I spend 12 months writing a book, 4 months going through the endnotes and editing it to tell you what you already know? This isn't a compilation of newspaper stories. These are scholarly reports that make clear what's being done to this country by the left, by big government, whether it's a state like California or whether it's the federal government, is destructive to this country in many ways and in specific ways. Well, Mark, what do? I've already explained it. We need to inform each other. We need to inform our children and our grandchildren. We need to do everything we can to explain what's going on. So many of our fellow citizens, I'm not talking about the fanatics and zealots who are dug in, who seek to destroy our country. So many of them are in a slumber. Well, we can't wait for political parties and the media to do anything about it. Remember what I said about the colonists. Remember what I said about pamphleteering. You are the Paul and Paulette Reveres. I know you are. I'll be right back. Oh, yes, I know what we could discuss, what the media want us to discuss, but I'm not doing that, am I? One other little bit of information. 5.7 million more immigrants, stick with me on this, between the ages of 16 and 65 were working in the first quarter of 2014 than in 2000. So 5.7 million more immigrants were working since 2000. On the other hand, 127,000 fewer native-born American citizens were working during that time period. So 5.7 million more immigrants, 127,000 less American citizens. Now, this is particularly jarring because during the same period, the total number of native-born citizens, American citizens, between the ages of 16 and 65 also increased by more than 16.8 million. Now you can see what's happening to employment in this country. Also from 2000 to 2014, that 14-year period, the population of working-age individuals, that is 16 to 65, grew by 25.7 million or 14%. But employment overall only grew by 4%. So incredibly, while native-born citizens accounted for 66% of the total population growth from 2000 to 2014, that 14-year period, immigrants, you ready for this? Immigrants have accounted for 100% of the job growth. 100% of the job growth from 2000 to 2014. The open border types, Jeb Bush, want to talk about that? Some of his accolades on radio and in the media want to talk about that? So the working age population in America is growing faster than the jobs are being created, and the increasing supply of immigrants makes finding employment twice as hard. And it is especially a problem for younger people. You won't read that anywhere. I dug that up, and that's in Plunder and Deceit. In the immigration chapter. I should have called these pamphlets, but in the immigration chapter /pamphlet.